Sharadang Deving Ramakrishnang Jagatgurum Pada Padme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. So today we are going to have a hybrid session. Inside the hall we have more or less 20 to 30 persons, but we expect more, several hundreds upwards online. Now today we have in our midst a very bright Swamiji from Advaita Ashram, DA Mayavati Advaita Ashram's branch center is here. You might have visited, many of you. So Maharaj is going to speak on the Ramakrishna Math and its special features. So we are in the very prestigious ashrama or organization for monks, very prestigious nowadays, Sri Ramakrishna Math. Sri Ramakrishna Math has some special characteristics. In what way this is special? Maharaj Swami Gunottarananda ji, he will be dealing with that important topic. You must know your own ashrama. Swami Vishuddhananda, Swami Vireswarananda, Swami Gambhirananda. These three President Maharajas, they are being grouped together. And as usual, I am going to read out their life in brief. Swami Vishuddhananda ji, Ramakrishna Math, Ramakrishna Missioner, Ashtam Sanghaध्यক্ষ, Maharaj ji, Vishuddhananda ji Maharaj, 1883 খ্রিস্টাব্দের 13th June, হুগলি জেলার গুড়াপ গ্রামে মাতুলালয়ে জন্মগ্রহণ করেন। পিতা ছিলেন হেমচন্দ্র রায়, মাতা কিরণবালা। তার পূর্বাশ্রমের নাম জিতেন্দ্রনাথ। তিনি হাওড়া বাঁটরা ইংরেজি বিদ্যালয়ে পড়ে এন্ট্রান্স পরীক্ষাটা দেন। বাঁটরা উচ্চ ইংরেজি বিদ্যালয়, বাটরা মানে হাওড়া। তিনি সদ্য প্রতিষ্ঠিত ইম্পিরিয়াল লাইব্রেরিতে গিয়ে, অর্থাৎ আজকের যেটি ন্যাশনাল লাইব্রেরি, সেখানে পড়াশোনা করতেন। গ্রন্থাগারে 1904 খ্রিস্টাব্দে ম্যাক্সমূলার রচিত রামকৃষ্ণ হিজ লাইফ অ্যান্ড সেইংস, এই গ্রন্থখানি তিনি অভাবনীয় রূপে অ্যাক্সিডেন্টালি তিনি এটা পান এবং এটি পাঠ করে যুগতীর্থ দক্ষিণেশ্বরের সন্ধান পেয়ে সেখানে যাতায়াত করেন এবং খুব অল্প দিনের মধ্যেই জয়রামবাড়িতে স্বয়ং শ্রীমা সারদা দেবী তাকে মহামন্ত্র প্রদান করেন। তিনি নিজে হেঁটে হেঁটে যান কলকাতা থেকে। 1906 খ্রিস্টাব্দের 16 ডিসেম্বর সে তারিখ। শ্রীমা তখন তার পুরাতন বাড়িতে থাকতেন, সেখানেই দীক্ষা হয় এবং পরবর্তীকালে কাশী অদ্বৈত আশ্রমের অধ্যক্ষ তখনকার দিনে মহাপুরুষ মহারাজ শিবানন্দজি, শ্রী শ্রীমা তাকে, শিবানন্দজিকে শ্রী শ্রীমা নিজে পত্র লিখে সন্ন্যাস নিতে পাঠান। স্বামী শিবানন্দ মহারাজ জিতেন্দ্রনাথকে স্বামী বিশুদ্ধানন্দ নামে আখ্যাত করেন। 1922 খ্রিস্টাব্দে স্বামী ব্রহ্মানন্দজির আহ্বানে এবং আগ্রহে তিনি রামকৃষ্ণ সংঘের অন্যতম ট্রাস্টি এবং পরিচালক সমিতির সদস্য হন। পরিচালন সমিতির সদস্য হন। স্বামী ব্রহ্মানন্দজির মহাসমাধির পর শ্রীমৎ স্বামী শারদানন্দজির নির্দেশে রাঁচির মোরাবতী পাহাড়ের জনবিরল পাদদেশে নূতন একটি আশ্রমের কার্যভার গ্রহণ করেন। 27 থেকে 1952 পর্যন্ত দীর্ঘকাল 25 বছর লোককল্যাণ ব্রতে অতিবাহিত করেন। এরপরে বাংলা, বিহার, আসাম যুক্তপ্রদেশ দিল্লি, মুম্বাই, নাগপুর, চেন্নাই এইসব অঞ্চল, এইসব জায়গায় সঙ্ঘের ভাবধারা এবং বাণী প্রচারের জন্য ভ্রমণ করেন। 80 বছর বয়সে 6ই মার্চ তিনি 1962 খ্রিস্টাব্দে রামকৃষ্ণ সংঘের 8ম সভাপতি নির্বাচিত হন। কিন্তু 3 মাস পরেই তিনি 16ই জুন 1962 খ্রিস্টাব্দে অস্ত্রোপচারের পর শরীর ছেড়ে চলে যান। শ্রীরামকৃষ্ণ বিশুদ্ধানন্দ সমিতি একটি তৈরি হয় পরবর্তীকালে, তাদেরই অর্থানুকূল্যে আজকের এই স্মারক বক্তৃতা। শ্রীমৎ স্বামী বীরেশ্বরানন্দজি প্রভু মহারাজ শ্রীমৎ স্বামী বীরেশ্বরানন্দজি মঠ এবং মিশনের, রামকৃষ্ণ মঠ এবং মিশনের 10ম সংঘগুরু। তিনি মাদ্রাজে 1892 খ্রিস্টাব্দে 31শে অক্টোবর জন্মগ্রহণ করেন। মানে মহারাজের থেকে প্রায় 10 বছরের ছোট বিশুদ্ধানন্দজির চেয়ে। পূর্বাশ্রমের তার নাম ছিল পাণ্ডুরঙ্গ প্রভু, পরবর্তীকালে প্রভু মহারাজ। তিনি ম্যাঙ্গালোরে সরকারি মহাবিদ্যালয় থেকে FA পাস করেন এবং মাদ্রাজ প্রেসিডেন্সি কলেজে স্নাতক স্তরে ভর্তি হন। BA পরীক্ষার পর জনৈক বন্ধুর সৌজন্যে স্বামী বিবেকানন্দের ইংরেজি রচনাবলীর সঙ্গে পরিচয় হয়। তারপর তিনি আইন পড়তে পড়তেই 1914 সালে বৈরাগ্যের প্রেরণায় মাদ্রাজ মঠে যোগদান করেন। মঠের তৎকালীন অধ্যক্ষ স্বামী সর্বানন্দের অনুমতিক্রমে 1916 খ্রিস্টাব্দে তিনি বেলুড় মঠে আসেন এবং স্বামী শিবানন্দজি ও স্বামী প্রেমানন্দজির সান্নিধ্য লাভে ধন্য হন। স্বামী প্রেমানন্দজির নির্দেশক্রমে এরপরে তিনি জয়রামবাটি আসেন, শ্রী শ্রী মায়ের কাছে দীক্ষা নেন। সেখানেই দীক্ষা পাণ্ডুরঙ্গ 1917 সালে মাদ্রাজ মঠে ব্রহ্মচর্য ব্রত দীক্ষিত হন। নাম হয় সিদ্ধ চৈতন্য। 1920 সালে 12ই জানুয়ারি স্বামীজি তিথি পূজার দিন ভুবনেশ্বর মঠে সন্ন্যাস মন্ত্রে দীক্ষিত হন স্বামী ব্রহ্মানন্দজির কৃপায়। 1920 সালে 22শে জানুয়ারি তার সন্ন্যাস হয়। আর 1921 খ্রিস্টাব্দে বীরেশ্বরানন্দজি মায়াবতী অদ্বৈত আশ্রমে কর্মী হিসেবে যোগদান করেন। দক্ষতা এবং চারিত্রিক গুণে প্রথমে সেখানে কর্মাধ্যক্ষ হন। 1927 খ্রিস্টাব্দে 14ই এপ্রিল তিনি অদ্বৈত আশ্রমের অধ্যক্ষ নিযুক্ত হন। 14ই এপ্রিল এবং 1929 খ্রিস্টাব্দে তিনি রামকৃষ্ণ মঠের ট্রাস্টি এবং পরিচালন পরিষদের সদস্য নিযুক্ত হন। পরে 1961 খ্রিস্টাব্দে তিনি সাধারণ সম্পাদক পদে বৃত হন। 1966 খ্রিস্টাব্দে সংঘাধ্যক্ষ রূপে কার্যভার গ্রহণ করেন। 1966-তে তিনি প্রেসিডেন্ট হন। তিনি ছিলেন শাস্ত্র প্রভৃতিতে অত্যন্ত সুপণ্ডিত। স্পিরিচুয়াল আইডিয়াল ফর দি প্রেজেন্ট এজ, আওয়ার ডিউটি টুয়ার্ডস মাদারল্যান্ড, ধর্ম এবং ধর্মজীবন, ভগবান লাভের পথ সহ অনেক মূল্যবান গ্রন্থ রচনা করেন। এছাড়া রয়েছে শঙ্করকৃত শারীরক ভাষ্যের ইংরেজি অনুবাদ। অর্থাৎ ব্রহ্মসূত্রের ভাষ্যের অনুবাদ করেছিলেন ইংরেজিতে। এমনিতেই কঠিন, ইংরেজি অনুবাদ করা আরও কঠিন, বুঝতেই পারছেন। তার ছিল অসাধারণ স্মৃতিশক্তি। মঠ মিশনের আদি পর্বের বহু ঘটনা, স্বামী বিবেকানন্দের অপূর্ব জীবনের নানা কথা তার মাধ্যমে প্রথম সর্বজনের গোচর হয়। গুরুবাদ নয়, নিজে নিজে গুরুর প্রতি আমাদের একনিষ্ঠ ভক্তি থাকে এবং গুরুর জন্মোৎসব পালন করি আমরা এখানে সেখানে। এই মহারাজ বীরেশ্বরানন্দজি মহারাজ তিনি বললেন যে এই গুরুবাদ নয়, আমাদের গুরু একজনই, গুরু মহারাজ মানে রামকৃষ্ণ। আমার নিজের মহারাজ কিন্তু গুরু মহারাজ নন, আমার গুরুদেব। গুরু মহারাজ বলতে আমরা রামকৃষ্ণদেবকে বুঝি। তিনি সকলের, রামকৃষ্ণই সকলের ইষ্ট এবং আসল গুরু। দীক্ষা যে ব্যক্তিগুরুর কাছেই হোক না কেন, বীরেশ্বরানন্দজি ভক্তদের কাছেও এটি বিশেষভাবে তুলে ধরতেন। সেই জন্য আমরা জয় শ্রী গুরু মহারাজ জয়, কি জয় এই বলি। সংঘগুরু হিসেবে তিনি প্রথম দীক্ষা দেন 1966 খ্রিস্টাব্দে 31শে মার্চ। 1985 খ্রিস্টাব্দে অসুস্থ শরীরে 9ই ফেব্রুয়ারি 105 জনকে দীক্ষা দেন। 9ই ফেব্রুয়ারি দীক্ষা দিলেন এবং তারই কয়েকদিন পরে 13ই মার্চ, 1 মাসেরও কম সময়ে তিনি বিকেল 3:17 93 বছর বয়সে আমাদের ছেড়ে চলে যান। তিনি 2 দশক ধরে অধ্যক্ষের পদে বৃত ছিলেন। আর শ্রী তন্ময় গুহ সরকার, শ্রী প্রতিমা গুহ সরকার, শ্রীমতী রানু গাঙ্গুলি, শ্রী দীপক কুমার দাস, শ্রীমতী শিপ্রা দাস, এদের সমবেত সকলের অর্থানুকূল্যে এই স্মারক বক্তৃতা আয়োজিত। স্বামী গম্ভীরানন্দজি মহারাজ রামকৃষ্ণ মঠ মিশনের একাদশ সংঘাধ্যক্ষ। পূর্বাশ্রমে তার নাম যতীন্দ্রনাথ দত্ত। অধুনা বাংলাদেশের সিলেট জেলার সাধুহাটি গ্রামের ধার্মিক পিতামাতার কনিষ্ঠ সন্তান। 1899 খ্রিস্টাব্দের 11 ফেব্রুয়ারি যতীন্দ্রনাথের জন্ম। পিতার নাম দীননাথ, মাতা তারা সুন্দরী। শান্ত, ধীর, স্থির প্রকৃতির স্বামী গম্ভীরানন্দজি ছিল কঠোর নিয়ম অনুবর্তিতা, শৃঙ্খল পরায়ণতা এবং দায়িত্ববোধ। তাকে দেখে ঘড়ি মেলানো যেত। এই অভ্যাস তার হয়েছিল যখন তিনি রেঙ্গুনে সামরিক বিভাগে অ্যাকাউন্টেন্ট ছিলেন। গম্ভীর মহারাজের চরিত্রের বৈশিষ্ট্য হচ্ছে নিষ্ঠা এবং সাধন ভজন। যতীন্দ্রনাথ ব্রহ্মচর্য, মন্ত্রদীক্ষা, সন্ন্যাস সবই লাভ করেন মহাপুরুষ মহারাজের কাছ থেকে। 1923 খ্রিস্টাব্দের ডিসেম্বরে মায়ের শুভ জন্মতিথি, ওই দিন তার ব্রহ্মচর্য হয়, নাম হয় সৌম্য চৈতন্য। আর 66 থেকে 79 পর্যন্ত 13 বছর তিনি সংঘের সাধারণ সম্পাদকের গুরু দায়িত্ব পালন করেন। তার যেমন ছিল দক্ষ প্রশাসনিক ক্ষমতা, তেমনি ছিলেন কঠোর সন্ন্যাসী। 1979 থেকে 6 বছর সংঘের সহ অধ্যক্ষের দায়িত্ব পালন করে 1985 সালের 9 এপ্রিল তিনি একাদশ সংঘাধ্যক্ষ পদে বৃত হন। রামকৃষ্ণ সঙ্গে গম্ভীর মহারাজ পণ্ডিত সাধু নামে পরিচিত। রামকৃষ্ণ বিবেকানন্দ সাহিত্যে তার অবিস্মরণীয় অবদান। অসংখ্য রচনাবলীর মধ্যে দ্য হিস্ট্রি অব রামকৃষ্ণ মঠ অ্যান্ড মিশন, ভক্তমালিকা 2 খণ্ডে আমরা যে প্রায়, যুগনায়ক বিবেকানন্দ 3 খণ্ডে, শ্রী শ্রী মায়ের জীবনী, অর্থাৎ ঠাকুরের আবির্ভাবের ফলে যে ধর্ম জগতে বিশাল পরিবর্তন হয়েছে তার হিসেব নিকেশ তিনি করেছেন। ঠাকুরের প্রতি শ্রদ্ধাবশত তার এই যে বই হিস্ট্রি অব দ্য রামকৃষ্ণ মঠ অ্যান্ড মিশন, তারপর ঠাকুরের সব সন্তানদের বই, সন্তানদের জীবনী, ভক্তমালিকা খুব পরিশ্রম করে লিখতে হয়, তারপর স্বামীজির, এবং তারপর মায়ের গম্ভীর মহারাজের জীবনী, এবং যুগনায়ক বিবেকানন্দ 3 খণ্ড। অর্থাৎ ঠাকুর, মা, স্বামীজি সম্বন্ধে তার পড়াশোনা, গবেষণা এবং বই লিখে যাওয়া 3 জনের সম্বন্ধে এই প্রথম বই। এই বইগুলি ঐতিহাসিক দৃষ্টিকোণ থেকে রামকৃষ্ণ সংঘের স্তম্ভস্বরূপ। এছাড়া ইনস্টিটিউট অফ কালচার থেকে প্রকাশিত কালচারাল হেরিটেজ অফ ইন্ডিয়া 3য় খণ্ড ও স্বামী বিবেকানন্দের রচনাবলী, ইংরেজি রচনাবলীর 8টি খণ্ডে তিনি সম্পাদনা করেন। মহারাজ ছিলেন অত্যন্ত সুবক্তা। তার লেখা শ্রী মায়ের অনন্য সাধারণ জীবনীটি পড়ে বহু পাঠক তাকে প্রশ্ন করেন, আপনি কি মাকে দর্শন করেছেন? কারণ মায়ের দর্শন ছাড়া এই বই রচনা অসম্ভব। প্রথম মহারাজ উত্তর দিতেন, এই কাজ করে আমি খুব আনন্দ পেয়েছি, তৃপ্তি পেয়েছি। পরে বলতেন, আমি তো মাকে চর্মচক্ষে দেখিনি, তাকে স্থূল শরীরে দর্শন করিনি। তারপর নিজের হৃদয়ে হাত দিয়ে তিনি বলতেন, এখানে দর্শন করেছি। 1988 সালের 1988 27 ডিসেম্বর মঙ্গলবার 89 ইয়ার এই বয়সে তিনি শ্রীরামকৃষ্ণ চরণে চিরমিলিত হন। স্বর্গীয় নমিতা ঘোষ সেনগুপ্ত, শ্রীমতী অরুণা চক্রবর্তী, শ্রী মৃণালকান্তি চক্রবর্তী অর্থানুকূল্যে এই স্মারক। তা আজকে বক্তৃতা দেবেন, ইংরেজিতে দেবেন স্বামী গুণোত্তরানন্দজি, রামকৃষ্ণ মঠ অ্যান্ড ইটস স্পেশাল ফিচার্স। রামকৃষ্ণ মঠ তার বৈশিষ্ট্য। I request Maharaj kindly start your speech. Ramakrishna Mott and its special features. You can speak over there.
I would like to.
Huh? You feel comfortable over here? More comfortable.
I offer my pranams to revered Swami Suparnanandaji Maharaj for allowing me this venue to come and talk, and my regards and greetings to all of you assembled here. In fact, Swami Vishuddhananda Maharaj, Adhyaksha Advaita Ashrama, he was supposed to come and give a talk here, but there was something more urgent he had to attend to in Advaita Ashrama Mayavati, and this date was clashing with his further plans. He had to cancel it, and that is how I was brought in. So dear audience, kindly bear with me for next half an hour or so. My today's topic is speciality, uniqueness of Ramakrishna mission. Well, to prove an exclusive uniqueness of something over the other is a little difficult job, because it needs a lot of comparison, and comparison at times feels odd. Secondly and mainly because we believe in the unity of all the existence. What do we mean by the unity of existence? Take for example this auditorium itself. Perhaps over the period of time, everything about this auditorium has changed. Everything about this auditorium has changed. Maybe its furniture, its curtain, its sound systems, everything has changed. And of course the speakers and audiences have changed. But still, the auditorium remains the same. In a sense, it maintains a sense of continuity somewhere. I will give you another example. A man said, I am using my umbrella for last 50 years. Everything about that umbrella was changed. Its central rod, its central hub, the spokes around which the umbrella folds and unfolds itself, its cloth, everything was changed several times. But still, the man said, I am using the umbrella, my umbrella, for last 50 years. So, we can see the silver line. There is a continuity, a sense of continuity here, and that sense of continuity gives suggests the unity of existence somewhere. Another example, somebody asked Swami Ashokanandaji, suppose every person, every being in the universe were to die out, and you were left the only person to live here. What would you do in such a situation? Swami Ashokanandaji told, there are two possibilities. Either I myself would die out, or I will attain to the highest. Why did he say he would die out? Is this Shrishti, this Loka is the outcome of our collective karma. We have created it by our collective karma, and if everybody has died out and I am the only person, naturally there will be nothing to hook with, and I too will be the person to perish. So that shows a mutual dependence. Existence of one person depends on the existence of the other person. So this mutual dependence shows somewhere there is a unity of existence as well. The second possibility was, he said, he could attain to the highest, because in absence of anybody else, there would be no conditioning on his mind that comes from the outside. And that's why he said he would attain to the highest. There is a story which comes also in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and Thakur used to tell this story often. There was a teacher, he told his disciples, God is everywhere. Disciple took it seriously. It so happened once he was traveling, he was walking in a dense forest, and there was an elephant coming on his way. He thought, everything is God, why should I give way to the elephant? I won't clear the way. And he was walking, let the elephant come. But the Mahat was shouting, get away, clear the way, this elephant is mad. You will be run over. He thought, no, everything is God. Why should I give way? Why should I clear way? But finally he was run down, he was run over. But he was rescued by the other disciples, brought back to the ashrama. There, when he opened his eyes, when he became normal and opened his eyes, the teacher asked, my child, what happened to you? And the student said, sir, you asked you told everything is God. I practiced it a little bit. I'm sure you did, but then why didn't you pay heed to the Mahat God? He was shouting, get away, clear the way, elephant is mad. It's the end of the story, but here there is a common ground behind Jeev Jagat and Shrishti. Ishwar Jeev Jagat. There is a common ground behind that, and that common ground shows somewhere the unity of existence. The conflict between personal effort and God's will, that conflict also shows somewhere there is a unity in existence. If there is no unity, who will conflict with whom? Of course, there is a need to resolve the conflict. Otherwise, there is a fear of getting run over in the world. So by this all, we can sense somewhere there is a unity of existence. Added to that, the three divisions of time, past, present, and future, they too are existentially one. What you had earned in the past will go into the planning how much you would spend in the future. So the future planning is dependent on the past earning. But there is no reason why there cannot be something unique, new, and special in our planning. And especially when the planning is divine, as we see the assertion in the Gita made by Sri Krishna, he says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Every time religion declines, I incarnate to revive the religion. And if there is some revival, there must be something unique and special in it. Yes, there must be something unique and special to it. And Ramakrishna Mission being started, as we know at least in the retrospect, that it was the part of the revival of the religion of the land. So Ramakrishna Mission being started by Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna, it must have something unique and special to it. So in and through comparing note with others, we will try to learn a few of the uniqueness, a few of the speciality of Ramakrishna Mission. We have seen traditionally there are three impediments to spiritual success, to the attainment of knowledge, vidya. What are those three impediments? They are avidya, kama, and karma. If we look closely, karma is not directly in conflict with vidya. Avidya is. But because avidya and kama are very subtle, we cannot handle them. The karma is directly hit upon. As a result, the ecosystem of karma is destroyed. It had so happened during the Buddhistic period. The then existing ecosystem of karma was destroyed. The karma had lost its inherent glory, and the only valuable thing in life was to become a monk or practice few monastic values. There were nothing valuable elsewhere. And that was like that destroying the ecosystem of karma was like throwing the baby out of the bathing tub, as pointed out by Swami Vivekananda. Somebody wanted to clean the bathing tub, but in haste and in hurry, he threw out the baby also. If the baby was thrown out, it had to be rescued. And through the institution of Ramakrishna Mission, in founding Ramakrishna Mission, Swami Vivekananda had rescued the baby, because that baby, that karma, never dies. We cannot be dismissive about it. Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayo pyatra mohita tatte karma pravakshami, etc. All those statements support this fact. The baby never dies. Swami Vivekananda took the karma and made it an independent path to the attainment of knowledge and called it Karma Yoga. Even traditionally, Shankaracharya had raised the status of karma and made it an indirect means to attainment of the knowledge through Chitta Shuddhi. Because Chitta Shuddhi is never possible without karma. So in both the senses, in purificatory sense and also as a feedback of knowledge, When the avidya is removed from those three impediments, avidya, kama, karma, when avidya is removed, will not the feedback of knowledge percolate up to the last rugs of the karma, which was otherwise previously an offshoot of avidya? So in both the senses, in purificatory sense and also as a feedback of knowledge, karma was enshrined in the institution of Ramakrishna mission. That is the one significant point which is so significant we find in this institution. The installment of karma in both the senses. From here, I will take you to a historian's point of view. It looks like a deviation, but it will help us to understand the premises better. Will Durant, in his book, Story of Civilization, says, and I quote, "Civilization is a precarious labor and luxury of a minority. The basic masses of mankind hardly change from millennium to millennium," unquote. Here, by the word minority, he means those few people of the stature of Buddha and Jesus. We can call avatars in our terminology. So he says, creation is started and precariously kept by those few people. We, the commoners, the majority, the basic masses, we do not change from millennium to millennium. It's a beautiful observation made by the historian. But this is what something Swamiji did not want, Swami Vivekananda did not want should happen. He wanted to create something for the majority. He wanted to give this world a new civilization, Hindu in fashion, Hindu in its spirituality. In fact, he wanted to deluge the world with new civilization. Civilization that belonged to the majority of the people. Those minorities will be there, will come as and when they see fit. But what about the majority? The same undertone we find in the biography of Holy Mother also. It was the time when Holy Mother was traveling around Buddha Gaya, and she was seeing those beautiful monasteries which stand till date even now, and she prayed to Sri Ramakrishna. She says, "Master, a little bit of devotional singing and dancing, is that all about your advent? As you are gone now, is everything over? Why can't my children have some such establishment from where they may not have to go out begging for food all day, for a few morsels of food, and staying where they can take your name, rally around your name, propagate your name?" So, Mother was being little motherly in the content of her prayer. Swamiji had his own way of putting the things. He wanted to deluge the world. But both had the same undertone. None of them wished things should end up with Sri Ramakrishna. Rather, they wished it should begin from there. So they wanted to leave the feedback of something which was knowledge which was realized and left by Sri Ramakrishna, so that majority can use and contribute into the making of the civilization that belongs to the majority of the people. So what is that feedback? We would like to know a little bit more about that feedback, because this system is this institution is the institution of feedback. In the words of Sri Ramakrishna, he used to say, a man climbed a wall, saw something wonderful, he was full of joy, full of ecstasy, but in that ecstasy, he chose to jump on the other side of the wall. He did not care to come back and give the feedback to the people. That was not desirable. So this institution is the institution of comeback, of feedback. In Kathopanishad we see Nachiketa is asking Yama. He says, we are trying to understand a little more of the feedback, and we will try to stay there for a while. It is very relaxing, very blissful to stay there. Such is the nature of that state, that feedback. So Nachiketa is asking Yama. He says, Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra asmat krita kritat, anyatra bhutat cha bhavyat cha yat tat pashyasi tadvada. Sir, you are seeing something. Give me the feedback. Don't jump on the other side of the wall. Stay for us. Give us the feedback. What is that you are seeing? It is different from dharma and adharma both. I believe in righteousness. I refrain from unrighteousness. But such is the nature of the creation that if a lion has to hunt his prey because his lion cub, his baby is hungry somewhere, it's a virtuous act to feed, to appease him, to do something for, because the baby is hungry, appease his hunger. It's a virtuous thing. But so that his hunger is appeased, some poor beast has to lay down his life. I believe in dharma, but such is the nature that it's a shadow, it's a dark spot which goes hand in hand with dharma. We cannot avoid it altogether, and this is the time I want to transcend them both dharma and adharma. Anyatra asmat krita kritat. In present state of mind, I see I am different, this world is different, and there is a split of subject and object here. My good, my fulfillment lies in creating the object of this world and finding my fulfillment. Krita and akrita, created and the cause of the creation. I want to go beyond both. You seem to be somewhere out of this split of subject and object, or you can say asmad and yushmad, vishay and vishay, I and you. You seem to be, sir, beyond the split of I and you. How do you maintain your calm? You are, of course, a brush of the law of creation, the odds of the life, and we are devastated. We are perturbed. We are perplexed. Kabira also says, चलती चक्की देखकर दिया कबीरा रोए, दो पाटन के बीच में साबुत बचा न कोई. He is shedding tears. He is watching a grinding wheel and comparing it, those two heavy wheels, comparing it with the wheels, the crushing wheels of subject and object, I and you, and this effort to create something here. And finally, it doesn't help you. So seeing those crushing wheel of asmad and yushmad, all of us are being nicely ground in it. Nobody is safe here. Every one of us are into it. But sir, whereas you lie somewhere else, you are seeing something which is unified. And you are seeing something. As I am seeing this microphone, I am seeing this podium, I am seeing you. Like that you are seeing it. There is no denying you are seeing. Na tavatayam ekantena avishaya. In introduction to Adhyasa Bhashya, Shankaracharya writes, Na tavatayam ekantena avishaya. Not that it is completely unapprehensible. It can be apprehended. You can see it. But as a content of your eye, you are seeing it as a content of your eye. Ami bolte jeta amra buji. And that is the reason why can't you show it to us. One more factor, asmat pratyay vishayatvat aparukshatvat cha. There is no split there. There is no split of subject and object there. And that is the reason you can't grab hold of it as I am holding this microphone and show it to me. Nachiketa is telling. Because it is not an object. But for yourself, sir, you are seeing it. Na tavatayam ekantena avishaya. You are seeing it, there is no doubt. Show it to me now. Let me be exposed to that. Let me bask into that glory, those glimpses which you find. So Vedanta also prescribes the purified sense of I, on top of which one fine morning sadhaka climbs and escape from the split of I and you. He sees things glittering, it is unified, it is blissful. He may not know all of it, but then he is seeing the glimpses. And he knows what they are talking about. He knows what they are talking about. There were times when Sri Ramakrishna used to be absorbed completely, exclusively in the experiences of the other world. But on common consciousness, on the ground of common consciousness, he used to maintain this serene sense of I. He knew his native is Kamarpukur. Every time he planned to go back to visit his native, he went back to Kamarpukur. He did not end up in some other village. He did not go to Jhargram or Purva Medinipur. He went every time to Kamarpukur. He knew that his village is Kamarpukur. But in the words of Sri Ramakrishna only, such person, such serene I, Pakami, becomes like a golden sword. So much of harshness, rigidity, infatuation, fascination, fanaticism has gone from that person, from that I. It becomes so serene. Later, Sri Ramakrishna says, if I believed that this world is real, was real, I would have gilded Kamarpukur with golden plates, which he did not do. He did not have to, because he holds this world is unreal. So, with such person, with such sword, killing does not happen. But a serene sense of I is maintained. He can maintain. But there were experiences in life which were exclusively from the other world. He would be absorbed there, and those times there won't be any signs of life visible in him. So these are the things which we understand by the word, getting feedback from the other world which is preserved and enshrined in this institution. In the words of Thakur, he used to say, I have left immense treasury in the next room. Burgle into the wall, break it open and have your share. It is so easy. These are the people around whose memorial function we have gathered today. They broke open the wall and had the lion's share. If we think we cannot do so much, we can at least make a hole in it and see that things are glittering there. They are so wonderful. And have our own share. At least we can scrape something. The golden dust we can scrape every day, regular basis. And 5 grams of golden dust must sell in the market for thousands of rupees. With that thousands of rupees, I can fill up my belly and feed few people around me. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. And that is the investment, that is the glimpses, that is the credit that we have, the small investment, the small glimpses by majority of the people that goes into the making of the civilization that belongs to the majority of the people. So this is the one type of feedback which we get from other world and which is inside in the institution of Ramakrishna Mission. But there are certain feedback from this world too, and we cannot be dismissive about it. What are those feedback? The absolute Chaitanya broke into the waves and he became the ocean of consciousness, ocean of energy. Everywhere there is a struggle, endeavors, efforts, perseverance is put forth. Many are struggling just for survival. Those who have survived already, they are struggling to excel in life. And there are many excellence in life, science, technology, art, music, and many other things. So they want to excel in life. There is a struggle. And those who have already excelled, they want to liberate themselves and find the ultimate freedom. There is a struggle again. So it forms an ocean of energy all around which stands before us. In this world we stand and rise and embark upon fulfilling one or the other purushartha, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Such is the nature of this ocean of energy. It is all around. In the words of Swami Vivekananda, this is a primary manifestation. It's a constant manifestation. World may have Jesus, Buddha, it may not have. They are next in the manifestation. But this ocean of energy, this Shakti, is the primary manifestation. Sages look upon that entity as something feminine in principle, and hence we look upon her as mother. So there she stands. The question is, how do we approach her? How do we associate with her? Seva could be the only way possible. How else to associate with mother? The institution decided Seva should be the mode in which it will associate with the mother, that entity. Not in terms of numbers. No son in India, no child in India talks to his or her mother, look, I gave you so many tablets, so much of food, so much of shelter. Nobody talks in that line to one's mother. But a serene, a noble attitude is maintained throughout the activities, throughout the service activity of the institution. And that is, service to man is service to God. This is the one attitude enshrined by Swami Vivekananda in the institution. If there are other institutions, if there are other ambitions, if there are other way to associate with that entity, the ocean of energy, the Shakti, other institutions should come up. And they are coming up, of course. There may be political, there may be military, there may be economical, judicial ways to associate with her and find the goal. So other institutions are coming up. But this institution has chosen for itself Seva to be the one mode. And with it maintains the attitude, service to man is service to God. Some of our children in this struggle are ailing somewhere, lagging behind. So institution goes forward and give them little succor, little solace in their life. After all, this institution is the gift from the Divine Mother only. I will tell you one small incident from the life of the Shankaracharya and then bring my talk to an end. Shankaracharya was traveling down south, and he had a mystical vision. He saw under a hood of a snake a frog was sitting and being nurtured there. So the cosmological view of this universe, this world is eater and eaten, equation is everywhere. That is how the world sustains itself. So I am paying attention to you, you are paying attention to me, I am eating into your attention, you are eating into my attention. And that is how something in this hall is maintaining its fine balance. Otherwise it will spoil. This is the wooden podium, it has eaten into tree. A tree from where it has come, this piece of wood has come. And this podium also in time will be eaten by ants and termites. So this is the eater-eaten equation maintained throughout the creation. That is how creation sustains itself. So whereas in this mystical experience, that snake, which is the natural eater of the frog, does not eat it. Rather, on the contrary, it preserves it, it protects it. The frog is taking shelter under the hood of a snake. So that was the token of love. Shankaracharya decoded it like that. He took it as a blessing from the Divine Mother, and he installed a statue of Divine Mother there and started his first matham. That place was Sringeri. That matham is still now there. So that he needed a mystical experience. But in the case of Ramakrishna Mission, this institution had been directly a gift of love, a token of love from the Holy Mother, the Shakti herself. She prayed to Master, let my children have some such establishment. We have seen early in the talk. So, if India has, and the God of India has a spiritual ambition to create a civilization for the majority of the people, the society must use this institution, and institution must go on undaunted, unshaking, until that ambition is realized. Thank you so much. Thanks for giving me a patient hearing.
I thank you, Gunottarananda ji, for your beautiful exposition and deliberations on the topic. But you dealt with only the theoretical aspect of it, while your spectators, listeners, they are interested in some objective terms, the special features of the Ramakrishna mode and Ramakrishna mission. Features which you would never see anywhere in the world. And since we are living in the midst of these features, we scarcely notice them. That is the problem. So Sri Ramakrishna had unusual living in renunciation. That's why Holy Mother used to say he was Tagishwar. And Swami Vivekananda also mentioned him as Tagishwar. So much of renunciation, so much of dispassion, Vairagya Murti. And that Vairagya has to be percolated. It has to be seen in each of us. So we have been estranged from that sort of living. Vairagya, we wanted to despise Vairagya, this and that. So with that idea in him, so Swamiji started, as per the instructions of Sri Ramakrishna himself, given to him specially at Kashipur, Uddanbati, you must not go back to your own houses, you assemble and prepare and form a mott for the sadhus, all renouncing sadhus. And that way it was formed, mind that. And they were not, at the end of their fourth stage, Brahmacharya, Garhastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. Sannyasa, the sannyasa ordination has to be given, has to be taken up at the end of the third one, Vanaprastha one. It was meted out to them that you should be sannyasins at the fourth stage, sannyasa. So you have to go through all the experiences of life, Brahmacharya, Garhastha, then Vanaprastha, then sannyasa. But here we skipped the three. And the young lads, they became sannyasins. For the first time, say, India saw such a union, such an organization by the monks. They are not the wandering monks. The second characteristic feature is this, that this is not an unorganized monastery. There is no monastery as such. As such means where people or the sadhus would be living together, Cenobite living. That was a taboo. That was not there in vogue. So this is a very, very important concept. So living together by the sannyasins was not permitted in the Hindu form of religion. Hindu religion, that was not the principle. So they are wandering monks. Totapuri also, just see. And Shankaracharya's, there were four centers, no doubt, on the four ends of our country, put up by Shankaracharya. But actually, they are not supposed to live together. Only one Mathadhis used to live there with one or two persons. But such living together by the monks was something unknown to the Hindu religion. We find it in Buddhism. That is not the type of organization which the Hindus would have to emulate. But Swamiji insisted that without organization there could be no living religion nowadays. This is the second important feature. Third important feature, most interesting, that it is not of the traditional type, but sadhus and the householders. Householders and sadhus, mind that. They are part and they are the part and parcel of these two organizations. So Swamiji segregated the missionary part from the proper mott. Mott is for the sannyasis purely. It is maintained by this trust bodies. Mind that. So he is the general secretary. Someone is Vireswarananda is the general secretary of the Ramakrishna mott and general secretary of the Ramakrishna mission. Mission is a registered body and mott is a trust body. That difference is there. But all are put together, sannyasis and householders, they are put together to run the two twin organizations. And they are separate, of course there are separate audit systems also, you know. And especially Swami Vivekananda for the first time made Hinduism a missionary religion. Hinduism was not for missionary activities. So missionary zeal was put into the organization. That's why we see a major part. The other part is devoted to missionary activities. But curiously enough, the Swamijis who are doing these missionary activities, they belong to the Ramakrishna mott. Mind that. As if Ramakrishna mott has sent them on lien to work over there. And they will call back to the headquarters as and when necessary. That is a very important thing. So missionary activities at the same time and even not missionary center, missionary element involved in it. Simultaneously also. So it cannot be fully said that this is totally missionary, it cannot be said that it is totally non-missionary. But sadhu should work, and as Holy Mother used to say that sadhus cannot spend the entire time available to them on japam and meditation. They have to do work. So the missionary mission is there for us as spiritual practices. We have the goal, Atma-moksha, and we had the means, Jagatit. Japam and meditation apart, we have this Seva Yoga, mind that. Seva Yoga has been given the prime importance. Very interesting. Mission is the mission. These two of the two parts, the mission is the only is regarded to be the only means to attain the goal, supreme goal. Because Swamiji has quoted so many times from scriptures, but the most important is the Kshetragon Chapimang Vidhi Sarvaskshetreshu Bharata. Kshetrago, the body, knower of the body. In all bodies I am present. Kshetragon cha opi mang vidhi sarvaskshetreshu bharata. You have individual jivatman. Each of us carries this individual jivatman. Beyond body, mind and intellect. But I am the supreme Atman, Paramatman, in all these bodies. That means you cannot disrespect any human, anyone, any life. So all life is divine. With that concept, we have to extend our services, mind that. So that has become the very effective means of attaining the goal, Atma Moksha. And the most important feature is that at the center is Mother. At the center is where in the Ramakrishna mott, or where in the mott, Sadhu's mott, in which mott in India. So Mother is present in this very vigorous form. Mother. And Holy Mother used to give sannyasa even. And many of the sadhus are being initiated by Holy Mother. And the sadhus are not to be initiated by any woman. So Mother is at the center. And this mott came into being at the say very sincere prayer by Holy Mother at Bodh Gaya. You know all that story. Anyway, so there are some, different say aspects also, very, very, very deep-rooted also, very deep-rooted, and you will be wonderstruck to know that say even in the say monastery, in the name of Dasanami Sampradaya, Sri Durga Puja, these pujas, all the rituals there, these are also being done with proper devotion and this. And Hindu people all are coming. And the most important of all these that say characteristics is the one which gives us an inner joy even, that it is meant for all, not for Hindus alone. You cannot claim that this is the Hindu organization, Hindu mott, Hindu. It is for them alone. It is based on the universal outlook of life by Thakur. Is it not very interesting that even the Christians, they may look upon our organization as their own organization. Even the Muslims, they have a free entry into the system. Jews, and even the outcast, even the Shudras, they have access to become sannyasi. So this is meant for all, because in all the bodies, Bhagavan is present, the divinity is present. So you never come across such spiritual organization for the sannyasis anywhere in the world. So these are some of the objective explanations. But Maharaj has dealt with the subjective aspect of this topic in a very nice way. It may appear to be a bit difficult for you to understand, but it is really a very interesting and all perfect explanation that Maharaj so long gave, spoke, and we listened to. With these words, I once again thank Maharaj for coming over to this place to deliver this lecture. Thank you. Thank you all also. Thank you.